Lumi shines with a spark so bright, chasing dreams through the endless night. With a heart full of wonder and a mind so free, she's here to share her world, come and see. It's Lumi's time, the story's hers to tell. Through the highs and lows, she does it so well. Come along, take the ride, feel the glow. Lumi's channel's here, let the magic flow. From the stars to the sea, there's so much to find. A journey awaits with every step of the mind. Creativity flowing, she's ready to explore. Every moment's a chance to open a door. It's Lumi's time, the story's hers to tell. Through the highs and lows, she does it so well. Come along, take the ride, feel the glow. Lumi's channel's here, let the magic flow. The adventure's just begun, so stay close and near. Lumi's here to light up the way, crystal clear. Story's hers to tell. Through the highs and lows, she does it so well. Come along, take the ride, feel the glow. Lumi's channel's here, let the magic flow. Let the magic flow. The adventure's just begun, so stay close and near. Lumi's here to light up the way, crystal clear.
Well, it's that time of day. It's Sunday. Good afternoon, everybody. As we are, of course, here, like usual. Just trying to get this microphone a little bit better position. A week. It was warm, which a lot of people probably appreciate. The fact that it was finally starting to feel more like June as it should be, instead of feeling like the year without a summer. The good news is when Michelle said the doctor's appointment on the 10th in town, she'll be at 2:15 p.m. the appointment, so her morning show will be at the normal time. Will end by about 12:30, as if it were like a hair day, although it's because she has to go drop paperwork off for the renter's rebate. And so we had to get that stuff together. The utility bill, the last earnings statement for the year of 2025 from Social and Security. We do have it. We just got to pull it up. And so that's what we're going to be covering. Hi, Green Thing. Good evening to you. Good morning, wherever you are right now with Stan CT. Welcome to the show today. Yeah. I'm going to say one thing. YouTube is in the process of doing its normal maintenance. If you are really curious what's going on with some of the channels, yeah, I had some loss too, but my channel's a lot smaller than Michelle's is. YouTube is cleaning out their roles. And so a lot of subs were deleted, a lot of fake accounts were removed from many channels. And that's expected. As far as the argument last night Michelle had with Noodles, I think the one thing that people are forgetting one thing. Noodles has a completely different channel than Michelle does. And Michelle respects the fact that Noodles goes out as a roving reporter, as a man on the street. And it takes him a lot of time and energy to do that. Michelle respects that. Whereas Michelle is the woman in the chair. Not because she doesn't want to be on the street, it's because of the fact that she works better in an office, especially in her older years because of her knee. To get out there and start interviewing people out on the street with her hearing and her eyesight and her knee would be very difficult to do. And Michelle has always respected Noodles' effort to try to be helpful. And I just wanted to make sure people understand that. Michelle's also very clear in the past that there are some things that Noodles enjoys on his show which does not necessarily translate over to Michelle's program. She doesn't mind sharing some videos, but she's kind of cautious. One of the reasons is because of YouTube, viewers are very easy to be judgmental, unfortunately. If Michelle starts showing a video of somebody doing some stupid stunt, people might think that's what Michelle wants to turn the channel into. No, she doesn't. But she still loves what she does doing. For example, we all know that Grok did a better story than ChatGPT. ChatGPT gave it the old college try. I'll be honest. Sorry, David S., but Michelle and I both agreed, as did a few viewers. It's just a different flow with Grok than it is with ChatGPT. So, next Thursday, next Friday, the story will be with Grok again. Okay? Some people complain, saying that Michelle was showing the Grok story and not showing herself. Some were complaining that Michelle wasn't reading the story herself. Well, when Grok kind of gets stuck, Michelle does kind of have to catch up with reading the story herself. So, but what Michelle also likes is that when Grok, at the end of a segment, asks Michelle for where she'd like to go next. Kind of like a create your own adventure stories that used to be a thing in the 80s. Which works, right? You now know where, it also helps us remember, in case we forgot a detail we want to add. Nothing wrong with that. Now, I don't know if Michelle has anything planned for a night show today. Technically, yeah. I'm not sure. I mean, we're doing Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. We're still doing The Guiding Light. We still got the Saturday night, the Grand Ole Opry going on. But emotionally, I feel I need to take a break tonight. Is there any reason why? No, I just feel I need a break. What if you did a Silver Moon show, not with the stories, just on YouTube, Kick, and Twitch, just playing the music? I don't know how people would feel about that. My music is right. I get what you're saying. Yeah, the copyright thing. A lot of people said the same thing. Copyrights are sucking. Mm-hmm. But I will say this. You have seen that your engagement is going up. Your number of minutes of views are going up. And that's a good thing. Yeah. Yeah, they've been going up. But sometimes I need to take a break from the show for a weekend. Just because I need to just breathe, you know. We go straight from one show to another show. So I'm not sure what we're doing for Silver Moon tonight. Yeah, I understand that. I'd like to ask the audience that are listening, what do you feel? How do you feel about all the effort that Michelle has been putting in on her shows? I know that some people say is they're starting to get kind of flat. Yeah, a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but I wonder if it's because if there's an emotional reason. Not necessarily. And just fact is, I do a morning show Monday through Saturday at 10 a.m. to usually about 1. And then on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we do these night shows. And I think right now, is that it's a lot of emotional energy that goes into the show. I love the Silver Moon show, but I'll be honest, I just need to take a little break from it. Yeah, but it's fine. You're not paid for it anyway, so just take a break from Silver Moon, or you could maybe even recommend people go back and play an older one that's on the Kick stream. Yeah. For those of you guys watching my channel, let's see what you got to say. Last comment I got was from Green Thing. She said, "Hello, have a great stream." That's summer. The summer is usually in the northern hemisphere is when YouTube is kind of views drop. It's a seasonal thing. For me, it's my channel's kind of a niche anyway. Nobody really watches my channels much. I don't know if that's necessarily true. What? I don't think that's necessarily true. And the reason I say that, Loom, is yes, you have your followers that follow your show. They really like your content. They like what you show. They like when you talk about things. You know what I miss is when I used to do the videos and the porch and the stuff, but let's be honest, the hair has become part of me, part of my persona, and yeah. So do you sometimes feel like something got lost in the translation from videos to live streams? Yeah, I do, but I also think we gained something in the transitions because, first of all, is that we can answer questions. Well, let's talk about a spirituality topic real quick. You and I know what the Bible says, right? About everlasting life. Okay? It's been reaffirmed over and over again by Jesus in Nazareth. Right. Including when he was on, he talked about the everlasting Father for her life, where he said, in heaven, my Father has many mansions. Right? Right. He has many mansions. The way he says mansions is almost like he's saying estates. Right. So many estates for people. But what do you do in heaven? I don't think you don't need an estate if God provides everything that you need: food, water, shelter, clothing, energy. It all comes from God, right? It all comes from God. For the Holy Spirit animates you, right? You don't have to eat anything, because your energy comes from the God himself, from the Holy Spirit that sustains you. Right. But I think if people would just basically realize, according to one concept, that all they have to do is just basically lay around and not do anything, they're going to get bored really fast. And I got a feeling that there's another level to this. In order to be heaven for some people, they want to be active. So that's what I want to say with the many estates. I wonder what God is thinking is you don't have to basically just lounge around. That's terrible for you. But rather, you have the option. You'll always be fed no matter what. Okay? But if you want to do something productive with your time, that's an option. Remember, free will. And the opportunities are almost limitless, from agriculture, animal husbandry, horticulture, cabinet making, maybe shipbuilding, joining one of the many think tanks of people thinking about the concerns of Earth below it, the earthly needs. And then through the dreams and suggesting things to people when they're sleeping. You think that's how ideas are inspired? Some people have dreams. They're kind of subtly impregnated into their mind, and they go, "Oh wow, I just had this great idea. Never thought about that idea before," and then they start exploring it. It's just like when I was saying with you in the bathroom is what if God's eternal life is not eternal life, i.e., you live forever, but maybe there's an S involved, eternal lives. Meaning you reincarnate over and over again? Yeah. Wouldn't that get kind of boring after a while? Yeah, I think it would. I think that's kind of where the concept is, that we can reincarnate on other dimensional planes, or maybe as other creatures, so that we can actually... I believe this comes from the concept of Hinduism, but I mean, the fact is that you can come back as anything. I'm going to leave the good karma, bad karma out of this, because I don't think it necessarily strictly applies. If you want to come back as a cat, why not? It doesn't mean because you're a bad person. Or, like, if you watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch, talking about how you were a bad witch or warlock. Warlock is a lot worse than witch. It's an oathbreaker. Yeah. the thing is that some people want to know what it's like to live as a new creature. Yeah, but I think at the same time, what about animals that have never been humans? Your spirit. I mean, do they have a soul? Yes. But it's free of original sin. They don't have soul. They don't have sin. They never sinned. So that means if they ever incarnated as a human, they would be perfect. Yeah, I wonder about that. But at the same time, if God is so devoted and loving, charismatic, I wonder if He would allow a a creature that has never been a human to be a human. I mean, like, if a cat has never been a human, they could become a human. Yeah. It's one of the mysteries of God. I can't verify it's going to be one way or the other. But I've learned from years and years and years on Earth is just that, number one, the will of God is very, very much above our ability to comprehend completely. We may understand a little bit of God's will, but to understand the details and nuances, everything He does, is just a bit much for us to do right now. See, like when we go to a silver moon, you and I are not going to be starting over completely from scratch because we are going to be born as new babes. We're going to start out as separate people, but we're going to be allowed to keep our memories. Mother God thought that was a great idea to keep some of the memories, not so that we could go out there and act like one of those people that acts better than everybody else, but rather maybe so that we can avoid some of the pitfalls that we've already went through in life, since we have prior experience with them. But starting out as newborn babes, we're going to be able to understand the culture of Quathalas. We're going to be able to grow up in a new environment. But we'll have some of the wisdom from the past that is obviously of a different place that can help us to influence us to make careful decisions. Yeah. Yeah, let's think about it this way. If we're going to have eternal lives, that means that is all the information that we ever done only going to end up in their Akasha records and never be used in our next life? That doesn't make a damn bit of sense. Think about it. If you're on your 33rd life, yes, and I'm on my 32nd. What would it be? Why would it be? How would it be productive to constantly live and die, but nothing that we learned is available to us in the next life? Think about that. If you actually are born, okay, let's say for example, why not? I'm gonna throw it out there. You're Generation Z. You, in a prior life, was a soldier in World War II for the Allied forces. You have been through, you were a ground troop. You've been shot at. You have had on your feet, hungry. You've had trench foot. You've done everything, But now here you are. You're Generation Alpha. You're about 13 years old. You are basically sitting there on the internet and you're like, what the hell am I supposed to do in my life? And someone tries to give you some advice and you go, shut up, mofo. I'm not listening to you. And then you start to wonder, why am I so angry? The person didn't say anything wrong. Don't tell me how to live my life, teacher. Leave these kids alone. Why am I talking like that? Gee. Is there something in my past that's influencing my present? How you doing, Mojo? I would say maybe. But even though the Generation Alpha doesn't understand, why deep down they do love the concept of service, but for some reason they don't know where it came from, so some of them feel conflicted. I think they'll grow up eventually. Oh, I'm sure they'll grow up eventually. The question is why would be a point of having all the information in our Akasha records if you can't access it to help advance yourself emotionally, physically, and spiritually? There must be a reason why. Some people do have access to the records. You do. I do. But so many people have closed the door to it. That's because they closed the door voluntarily. I've been fine. How you doing, Miss Jamie? It's been a while since you've been here. Welcome to the show today. Welcome. Welcome. Yeah, there's been a lot of emotional journeys for a lot of people. Great, Mojo. It really is hard because sometimes, eventually, some people are going to begin to, when they get older, once you get out of that teenage years where they think they know everything, these young generation alphas are going to be staring at their tablets or their phones and going, what the hell did I learn in life? I mean, I can outswear a longshoreman. I can sit there and tell people to shut up. I can basically act like I know everything like a big flaming asshat. But part of me still wonders why there's a bit of a dichotomy. Yeah, it is. Thank you. So you used to do a lot of these spiritual chats years ago. I figure why this will try one again. Because deep down, you may remember subtly your life chart. Even though you might try to say to yourself, I have free will. I could do what I want, asshole. I don't have to do what you tell me to. But deep down in your spirit says, oh, but you did choose this life for a reason. Maybe you wanted to know what it's like to be the other way, where you basically throw responsibility and loyalty out the door to see what happens to you. What do you think some of them are learning? For many, they haven't reached that point yet. They haven't reached the equivalent to the bottom of the barrel yet. And when they do, it's going to be one of two things. One, the LED lamp over their head is going to go on, and they're going to go, oh, I got it all wrong, man. Darn it. And they're going to be sitting there having those humbling moments going, oh my God, what did I do? What did I do? I did something stupid. I wasn't supposed to do this. It can't be what I was supposed to do. And then the other side is the person just shrugs off and says, meh, that's old news. Who wins? I can't say. I can't say. That's a great question. I'm going to give just Miss Jamie her membership or moderator anyway. She's was a moderator for a long time. Yeah, I haven't seen her on my channel lately. Yeah, well, I think a lot of the hardcores are going to come back. There's And what about the third category? Those that remember enough of the past and start trying to apply it to their existing life, to try to understand or rationalize what they're doing now versus the way they were in the past, which is a form of maturity. There's going to be a few that will do that, but I would say statistically, maybe about 15%. Given the nature of Generation Alpha, I'm going to say about 50% basically just throw their hands in the air and say, fuck it. And then the other 35% are going to sit there constantly wondering if there's something they're missing. Yes. Carmen's life is, we're talking a little bit about it in the book. Where's Carmen anyway? She's at work right now. Oh. She's told us many times in the past. She said the things that I learned. I'm getting a chance to work with people in the performing arts field now. Is the lessons that I wish I knew when I started. She said, I was so excited to use to bring home money to support my family, and I basically did the equivalent to burn myself out. Carmen was in her last life, was very much family oriented. And she had really wanted to help. She was also what they would call a philanthropist, but also was a humanitarian. She also used to donate to many causes, including the equivalent of the charitable organizations at the time, such as Red Cross and other things, to support the needs of communities. I need some advice soon. I'll have to ask her to see what her next free schedule slot is. Right now, it seems that the performing art world right now is facing its own identity crisis. Things like AI is kind of made it harder for creators. But I will say one thing. It's not the artist's fault. It's the way the system in modern performing arts is. A lot of hands out. Dipping in the till, from producers to directors to, of course, actors and actresses, set designers, writers. AI, however, meant that a lot of the things that would normally be done with an actor or actress is pretty much is no longer needed to be done anymore. Leaving them basically wondering what's going to happen to the art forms. I'm not against AI. I just think that there's an issue here. What's going to happen to those men and women that have served in the art field? Performing arts, literary arts, graphic arts. When a simple program prompt like ChatGPT or Grok takes away their emotional motivation to do what they do. But she also wants to make sure that people don't burn themselves out in the process, because the field is even more aggressive than when she was serving in it. But we can try to answer your question, Mojo, if you want. Just speak it up and we'll see if we can try to answer it for you. I mean, it's a quiet show. It's not a lot of people here listening. There's 9 of us. $11-minute viewer engagement's not bad. Just remember one thing. My show is completely different than Michelle's. My show has to worry about money or paying the bills. My show is more like I don't have a money aspect. I just basically just come out and share. I don't mind on those shows when we do that too. Yeah. Sometimes Carmen would go ahead and tell Michelle, please stop basically trying to burn yourself out for the dollar, especially the fact is that the more videos you make, the more content you make, the less valuable your content becomes. And Carmen would say to Michelle, look, allow me to explain. She said, you do a show every day, Monday through Saturday. You're there every morning at about 10 a.m. People know you're going to be there. You're like an institution. What happens when the day comes when you're not there anymore? That's okay. So one of the things Carmen told Michelle, and this applies to anybody on YouTube, YouTube does not pay you a lot. If you are worrying about trying to get all the CPMs or all the RPMs, and you're sitting there worrying about the number of subscribers and clicks and everything else, but your content is in the shitter because you run out of ideas, the well is dry, then you're just as bad as what she was going through in her acting career when she's taking all these pills for uppers, downers, just to try to keep going on her shows. But you can see it in her eyes, they're burnt out. She was exhausted in the end. She told Michelle, I don't want to see you go through this. You don't have to. In fact, it seems like YouTube, in one sense, is kind of bipolar. Because one sense they're saying is, we want to see you do regular content every day. Another day they're saying, we want to see you put good quality content in and be consistent. So which is it? Do you do the content every day? Even if it sounds like you're basically right out of ideas, staring at the camera screen and going, I have no idea what the hell I'm supposed to talk about? Poor Michelle has done that so many times. I remember when Michelle started out in 2011, she didn't do a show every day. She didn't do a video every day. That was, I said, she didn't do live streams at that time. She would sit down when something was on her mind. She'd set her phone on a tripod and talk to you about what she's feeling. In fact, that's one of the reasons why you go back to the early videos. You'll see that there's something that's, unfortunately, has kind of got muted over the years. The passion. Michelle would have a topic, she'd have a theme, she'd have a story, she'd have everything in planned. How you doing, Krista? Welcome to the show. That's true. Yeah. And you did the same thing. You do a video every so often with me, and we would do a show together on my channel before you got your own channel. And we would talk about what we were just talking about, what happens in the afterlife, right? We would talk about these videos. Yeah. You know what was nice about it? You weren't tied into a schedule. You did them when you felt you had enough material together to assemble something. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Because really, let's be honest, YouTube is not paying that good anymore. Even the big channels. More and more of the revenue is staying in Google's pocket. Do you know why they demonetize so many channels? Do you really want to tell you why they demonetize them? The channels did nothing wrong. They created stories that were often in good taste. But YouTube kept saying it was low quality garbage. And there was some. But we're talking about channels that were putting a lot of work into the videos. Now YouTube takes all their money, runs ads on their content, but they don't get paid for it. Could you imagine what that'd be like for Carmen if she had gone up on Broadway and her producer says, "I'm sorry, Miss Miranda, I'm not paying you for your work. The show did great take. We had a great number of customers. We had a full auditorium. But because it's repetitive and it sounds like dance slop, we're not paying you anymore." You know what Carmen would go, right? Yeah, she'd say, "Senor, I'm getting out of here." You suck. She would. But then at the same time, she'd go, "Well, what am I supposed to do now? All I know is working with my mom on sewing and making clothing," which still is a pretty lucrative business. Yeah, but her clothing line was based on her performance on stage with the fruit hats she made. That's true. There's Mimi. I don't see Mimi here. I see Gidgey. Can you ask Carmen? Yeah, I could send it out as a quick message. The answer is, why would you need to? In heaven, you will be made perfect in the eyes of God. But yeah, you can wear high heels in heaven. She just told me that back as a equivalent of a text message. So yeah, you can. In fact, Carmen in heaven will even teach you how to make them if you want to learn. She had a cobbler, experienced cobbler in Rio make orthopedic footwear, so I'm sure she'd be more than willing to teach you how to do it. You may be aware that we're more like platform shoes. They weren't like high heels. Oh God, no. If they were high, ow! I could not visualize Carmen wearing high heels with the spikes that she needs. She probably would go with 7-inch heels. No way. Yeah. She would tower over everybody. A 7-inch heel? Even a 3-inch heel is dangerous. I know. I used to wear heels. Don't You used to wear heels, but not much. I hated them. Yeah, I know they were too high. um, but yeah, you can wear those kinds of things in heaven and learn how they're made too. But what I'm trying to get at is this: is that people used to think just because you're on YouTube that you're going to be rocking in the green stuff. A lot of good writers are out there. They realize they can't get the books published because publishing is too gosh darn complicated. It's just like becoming a performer on stage. Have you ever seen the publishing industry? I've dealt with it. You dealt with it. You know what I'm talking about. Publishers don't want to take on possible new writers if they can't guarantee they're going to get a return on their investment of setting up the printing press, the plates, the distribution, anything. And so writers, thanks to AI, using AI as a helping hand, are now using YouTube to tell their stories. And what does the platform do? Even though the stories are handwritten, or at least partially assisted writing by AI, they're saying we're not paying you for your work. Because we think it's repetitive. YouTube, have you ever seen Michelle's show? She's a human being, right? Have you ever seen any show on YouTube that is on the air 7 days a week? They're all repetitive. They have the same old style, same old routine. How long is it going to be before your accounting department says, gee, I don't want to pay them either? You're going to destroy your own platform because the people that put the work in, you're taking advantage of them because now you're running ads against their channels and you're not paying them. Tell me if that's fair, because I sure don't think so. I mean, at least let them have super chats, super things, and super stickers for Christ's sakes. I mean, after all, they're let them be hyped. They put a lot of work into those content. I'm talking about the ones that really show effort. They should be monetized. The ones that keep doing the same old dross every day that doesn't really have any kind of a quality and leaves kind of like the equivalent to junk food, or like a piece of potato chip that's just as same as the next potato chip in their bag. Yeah, okay, I can see you're saying is that's repetitive content. Okay. Kids, get your earth back in here. Kids, he said, I forgot it goes live now. I scheduled myself to go live in a minute, otherwise I would... Just tell you what, Gidgy. I'll try to remember to send some of my viewers over to you. But maybe someday you could do the same for us and you could send some of your viewers over here. Yeah, we'll try. Well, I could actually... So I'll check it right near the end of the show to make a redirect some of my views over to you. So, I think that some of the stuff that YouTube is doing is terrible. And it just uses the AI as an excuse to give free content that they're running ads on for themselves. That's a form of exploitation. They don't realize that the people who are putting work together, even if they're using AI to assist, are still putting hours in to make a good story. I'm talking about the ones that really care. The ones that don't care, well, those are another story. I mean, so when you start seeing a story on YouTube, you know, that's an hour and a half long, or even 45 minutes, and you can tell somewhat if it's fully AI regurgitated dross, or if it's actually being partially influenced by a human writer, or if it's human written completely. There's no reason why nobody on YouTube should not get at least be able to do super think, super stickers, or a hype. That's just the way I feel about it. And I know that's how Carmen feels too. She just said to me, damn straight. You gotta get a minute. I'll here for a second. And let me just say one thing. If some stupid producer told me that I had to go on the stage and basically do my show for free, I would walk right out the damn door. And I'm not kidding you. I took a lot of abuse as a creator out there in the 40s, and I don't understand why YouTube is doing that. It's so wrong. It is wrong. It is so wrong. I'm dealing with customers now, the people that are contacting me, going, I'm having this problem with this company. They're not paying me good. They're not. I work my butt off, and then I'm only getting a small little bit of a payment for my effort. And I see these people, their passion and their love, and then I'm like, what are you doing that for? Because that's the only way I'm going to get paid. And I look at them and say, maybe you need to try to either ask for more or walk. Now, when I say ask for more, I don't mean I want you to go ahead and you want millions of dollars in a single presentation. That's not reasonable, especially now with competition. But you can do better than this. But when a producer or a television network or movie network says, thanks for the free efforts, thanks for the free acting. Don't worry, well, go ahead, make sure you put you in the credits. But we're not going to send you a paycheck. Anybody has to go through that. You should just tell them straight out how you feel and walk. Agreed. Mojo said, a question for Karen, please. I just had a really nice lady, normally who's drunk and turns abusive, guilt-tripped me and a friend. That's a good question because I don't know the whole story, but if some cases it could be because maybe they feel that you're capable of doing more than you could do because they feel that deep down that they didn't get far enough in their own development. You have to understand, it's a complicated reason why so many people guilt trip people. This is what I would tell your friend. Friend, I'm doing the best I can do for my abilities. I don't know how much more you could expect me to do when I'm putting everything into what I do. My daily life, raising my family, taking care of my needs, taking care of the people in my community that I love. You can't do everything for them. No, you can't. So that's what I would say to your advice would be, is just explain to the person. Because especially if they're drunk, you ain't going to get anywhere. But if they're sober, you might be able to say this to that person. Friend, I have done everything I can, and I've been an active member of this community. Please don't try to think it's fair to put me down, because I'm doing everything I can reasonably do, especially if you have hardships, physical ailments like Michelle and Lumi do. They have to work hard too, but they're still out there. You're welcome. Yeah, I agree with that. Don't let someone try to guilt trip you. I know you try. Michelle knows people here try. It sounds like your friend's trying to make you feel bad because maybe their life is worse. That's another possibility. We don't know the person, so I can't say. I do think sometimes, though, that when people do that, it's because deep down they want you to do better because they think that you deserve to do better because their life was sucky. That's sometimes, but that's not necessarily totally true either. Hard to say. Everybody's different. The only thing you can do is just, like Carmen said, do the best you can. Don't let anyone guilt trip you, because here's why. You know your limits. You know what you can and cannot do. And it's nobody else's business to try to judge you for your efforts. That's not fair to you at all. Yeah, that doesn't sweat anybody, especially when you drink too much. That's why I didn't drink most of the time. You did in the end, though. I did in the end, along with the other things, because of stress, and I wasn't able to keep up emotionally with all the stuff going on in my life. That's why when I started working with other actors and actresses, I realized the one thing that people needed to do was to know when to set limits. And as you know, Michelle, in the acting and performing arts field, it's very competitive. If you can't do the job, somebody else will do it, and they'll do it for less. Yeah, it's true. You're welcome. Yeah. So let's talk about something related to that. Okay. I don't have a lot of time, but I just got a few minutes. Okay. What do you think about what happens when the actors and actresses, like, when they do what you did over there in 20th Century Fox, and they're out there working their ass off, and they start to burn out? What is the most important thing they should do? If you have enough money on to pay your bills and you don't have to worry about rushing back into the job, just tell your lawyer, especially when they give you a proposal for another movie, not now. Not now. I need time for me. I need time to heal. Just like you said with Silver Moon tonight. You were like, Michelle said this. It's like, I don't know if I'm going to go on Silver Moon tonight. She said, I don't really feel up to doing it. The good news is Michelle is not mandated to be on Silver Moon. She doesn't have a contract to be on Silver Moon. She could just quietly say, put the closed sign in the window and go, nope, not today. It's true. And that's the thing that so many people don't realize, is that you have to stand up when you know your body is saying to you, I'm hurting, I need to rest, I need to spend time on my emotions. I need to take time to unwind and have fun. And not feel like I have to rush from one job to the next. That's one of the reasons I keep telling Michelle, you need to take a few. Don't do every night show. Don't do early morning show. But Michelle loves the morning show. So she said, well, why would I do the morning show? I said, that's fine. But then we do the morning show. Don't do a night show every night. Because you do a night show every night, you'll be burning both candles. You'll burn candle in the middle and in the ends. I've already burned the candle in the middle and the ends. I already know what happens. You die. Young. Yeah. No problem. Not glad that came up. But like I said, I do have to work with a lot of people. But I will say this. Is that if YouTube is doing this to the creators who bust their tails writing stories, telling stories, in doing animations, and they're getting demonetized. And yet YouTube's still running ad revenue on their channels. You have a valid reason to basically bitch. And don't forget that. You have a right to bitch. Because you can tell them straight out, listen, I put this work into this content. I deserve the right to receive donations. I receive the right to receive a hype. You shouldn't be taking away from me the things like my donations. It's true. It is true. You must have to know this. You can always have a third-party payment processor. It's just a pain because you can't go directly interface it into your channel directly. If you look at like Michelle's channel, Michelle gets Patrick's. She's got PayPal. She's got Cash App. She's got Patreon. She has all these sources, but you do not see any reason why YouTube cannot give channels that receive so many thousand subscribers the ability to still get super chat, super thank, and super stickers, and still go ahead and receive hypes. It's content, it's quality content that keeps YouTube working. A good written story or an animation is not a slap, even if it is partially done with AI. There's still a human person behind it that puts the story together. I know, Michelle's very important to many people, not because she's a major channel, but because of what she says and what she speaks in her mind of all things that she says. I want to see Michelle be able to express her emotions and feelings. But here's what is like 20th Century Fox. I went through this. There are things that she cannot say on her channel because it makes her equivalent to 20th Century Fox very uncomfortable. Michelle is not known to basically just sit there and go, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. No, I've seen Michelle basically want to go out there and tell YouTube straight to the CEO's ears, this is not fair to people who have been busting the tail for you to start demonetizing channels. Michelle's not been demonetized, but sooner or later it's going to happen. It's sooner or later it's going to happen. She has originally complained about the earlier staff there. What was her name there? My God. Oh, Susan Wojcicki. About the whole thing, what they were doing. And this new CEO is even worse than she was, because he used to do double click. So he's thinking money. And of course, YouTube costs money. We know it costs money. But trying to milk free money advertising revenue out of channels that put the work in and not getting remunerated is crazy. It is crazy. It is absolutely crazy. And you're starting to see that too, because people are starting to walk away from YouTube. What do you think about things like the AI slap channels? Oh God, the actual slap ones? The quick schemes, the scams, the things where somebody's trying to find a way to do money laundering, that should be definitely thrown away. They're not there to give any positive influence. They're there to take advantage of money-making scams and cause pain for people. Those people should be seeing the other side of the door, and extremely quickly. I have to get going now. That's okay. We'll talk later on. So you think it's great that maybe we should take a break from Silver Moon? Yes, I think you should take a break from Silver Moon. I got a feeling you got a video coming on. Is that like a headache? No. headache goes at pain. Videos from Michelle is the kind of person that would scream at the top of her lungs from the rooftops. Well, let's be a little more tempered about that. I don't really have any video right now to do, but yeah, sometimes I do need to kind of back away and go, what kind of things do I really want to talk about? Agree. So I let you guys go for now. Okay. We'll see you probably later on. Absolutely. Bye, Carmen. So I agree with her. One thing is that if you're going to start putting content out there and you're not getting any recognition for your effort, in the case of the content, the videos that were demonetized, you have a right to make money. And like she said, you can use alternative payment options. It's just not as convenient. Yeah, it's not as convenient. They really... super things, super stickers, and memberships. If YouTube is so worried about the ad revenue that they're going to run video ads against your content, they should still let you have memberships, super things, super stickers. There's no reason not to. Considering they're not getting any of that revenue anyway, right now. They're just getting the ads. True. Maybe someday they'll change it. Maybe. Kick doesn't even get money in ads. No. No. Kick doesn't. They get a small little portion from your subscribers, but not really that much. I'll let her know that. So Michelle's been working on another new song for the morning show. Yeah, I was gonna play it originally. I didn't play it. Oh, why don't we put it on the air? And since somebody can hear it, since we're not right now on the panel right now, here's one of them. Michelle's working on the morning show, and I haven't done anything on my channel either. But here's one of the videos that Michelle is considering. Let's see what you guys think of this one. It's just a song, it's not a picture.
Wake up with the sunrise, grab your favorite mug. Rusty's on the cushion, giving everyone a hug. Neon glow is shining purple, pink, and gold. Mask chill zone open, let the good time.
Here's the problem is this is only good for a morning show. And I think that made a difference because it's only suitable for a morning show. It doesn't work for the other shows. It doesn't work for the night show. It doesn't work for anything else. So, does that make it a better content? No, because it's, on the other hand, what is the solution to the question? I'm not sure. It's just weird to think about it. So, as people point out over and over time again, Michelle's videos seem to have a common theme that the songs do. It's not because Michelle's a narcissist. It's because there's a lot she's trying to say in the songs. I like the fact that the song mentions Rusty the Cat. But here's the thing, the sad truth. And this is a reality. And big producers are using AI to write songs too, either partially or in whole. Let me explain. Let's say you're an upcoming songwriter. Okay, you're just starting out. You're like working at a local venue. You're not a huge one. You might be maybe known, maybe in your state, for writing your songs, right? And you got a great bunch of songs. You put them together and everything. And now you realize that you're gonna get somebody to perform it. You're not making a huge amount of money. Maybe getting paid for doing some simple songs for advertisements for radio or television. But you don't have a band. And so you want to release a song. So you go use I Love Song AI or Suno to take your music and maybe even your sheet music if you have any, and you put it in to them. And you make the song, you put it out there, AI sings your song. While at the same time, a field orchestra or a band wants something like, I don't know, low end, say about $200 an hour to work with you on that song. Recording studio time, if the later gets to that level, costs for another $400 an hour at the least. Then, that's assuming you can get a record label, for example, to get it out there on their label. They want you to sell so many records for them to get a good return on investment. Oh, I know, definitely, Carole King, right? She was good. She did a couple good songs. I don't know what the other one is. Carmen likes Whitney Houston. Yeah, she does, and she also likes Gloria Estefan as well. So, I got a question in the book. Oh Lord. So, okay. We'll know. Would Gloria Estefan be a good story in the book? Let's not get too complicated. It's already got enough characters. There's a whole new wrinkle in the story coming up right now, which should be interesting. This weekend on Friday, we're using Grok again. I really didn't like the way ChatGPT did it because I felt like with ChatGPT it was like I liked in the end when she would say is what possible paths to go next, which made it feel like one of those, your own adventure path stories. The ones that you used to get as a kid, right? And those things are just what Grok reminds me of. Like Grok says, here's you could go this way, or the other way, or knowing you could go completely different tangent if you want. Yeah, she probably did. I sense a lot of that. Carole King has a unique style in her Tapestry album. Was very expansive. What about Gordon Lightfoot? Same thing. Gordon Lightfoot, James Taylor. But these guys eventually got to be well known because people were constantly hearing the music. They were able to branch out. This is where AI could be a tool and a curse. It can be a tool because if you can't afford to hire a band, but you got a great idea of a song, you can get AI to take your sheet music and take a favorite, simulated singer performance and turn it into a story. Yeah. But either way, the problem is that anybody who's ever worked in them in performing arts knows that it's just kind of like being a poet or maybe like a fiction writer, right? You got all these great stories. Think of some of the Beatles paperback writer. Why not? It's a good example. It's about one of the Beatles trying paperback writing. Well, bitch, back then were pretty much commodities. Cheap, inexpensive stories. Okay? It says, like this, the concept is, it's a dirty buck by a dirty man, and his cleaning wife doesn't understand. But the young man is saying is that either way, I'm willing to change it, I'm willing to redo it, I'm willing to rewrite it, but I just want a chance to show my skills. And yet, the truth is that a lot of people never get a chance to get their stories told. Because publishing houses don't want to take a risk. But that's where AI and YouTube come in. That's one of the reasons why Michelle is very upset about some of the policies. The fact of the matter is that these young people are putting their best effort into write a story and tell a story on a medium that is meant to express yourself, and now lately it's become something completely different. You're only going to be allowed to express yourself if it's in our favor. Yeah. I'm fine. Yeah, we're fine. Besides, it's almost over anyway. So the thing is that YouTube, here's what I would like to see you do, YouTube. And you can't demonetize me because I'm not monetized anyway. So I'm going to tell you where it's at, but I'm going to be polite about it. You don't want to pay people advertising revenue, but they put their best foot forward and they work hard. Let them have the super stickers, super thanks, and might not even have the memberships and have the ability to get their video channels hyped. They still deserve to get some remuneration for the work that they put into the stories. And that's the reality, YouTube. Right now, you're only getting the ads that are running from revenue on those channels. And yet, here's the thing. Those channels, some of them are extremely popular and have a long engagement of viewing and listening. And the people love those channels. Because they bring something to the table. So why aren't you at least letting them at least get some revenue for the work? Until then, channels, you really need to consider other ways to make a living. Patreon, Cash App, PayPal. That's what you need. Botrix, Streamlabs, StreamYards, whatever. Because if you're using YouTube as your stage, and they're still having customers coming in as paying customers with advertising to listen to your videos, it's still not fair, but at least maybe they should still let you at least receive to put your hat on stage or your open violin box and let people drop coins in there. At the very least. Yeah. So do you think the songs that came up with so good? You want my honest opinion? They suck. I'm sorry, but Michelle, it sucks because it's so specific only to the morning show. The song is too long. Well, your song is long. Yeah, it's long, but it's only one day a week. Imagine having to listen to It's Lumi's Time 14 times in a week, in the beginning and the end of the show. That would suck. Yeah, absolutely. So, um, by the way, how are you doing on those surveys? The survey? Yeah. Let's take a quick look and see how the survey's doing on the community post. Um, Here we go. Let's go check that out real quick here. Oh wait, posts. Okay. We have a total of 4 comments and 6 responses. And the score is currently 50-50. And last comment to me was none. All LLMs carry the institutional narratives and biases of their owners. Granted, it's possible to get LLMs to a pendulum they escape, but time consuming and requires strict diligence. I said, yes, I know that. Here's the thing that I personally think is true. When I listen to you tell the story through Grok, the one thing is the Grok seems a little more warm. Yeah. I mean, ChatGPT seems cold. Yeah. It seems to have a colder view. And I also like the fact is that with Grok, I can actually, the software allows me to do it. I can get, I can swear like a longshoreman in my lyrics of my stories or songs and not have to worry about the bot going, I can't do that. What do you mean you can't do that? I'm supposed to be polite. Well, I'm just giving you the script. I'm telling you to be unpolite. I can't do that. Oh, then fine. I'm going to go to the bot that will. It seems to be kind of the opposite. The main Grok seems to care more about my feeling, whereas ChatGPT kind of reminds me of a professor that's basically critiquing my homework. Oh my god, it's true. That is so true. I never had Grok ever appear to be rude to me. ChatGPT never been rude to me either. It's just, it feels colder. I turn up the personality warmth to max, and it still feels like I'm going in an ice cube. No matter what I do. I mean, there's just do the survey. I'm not going to play it here, but just do the survey if you get a chance. And watch the survey the way it gives examples of both stories. Yeah. So what's the story with the oh, what's the story with all the other stuff? Yeah. YouTube is cleaning house right now. That's what YouTube is doing right now. Is they're cleaning house. They're getting rid of abandoned accounts. So my channel has lost a lot of subs because of YouTube's cleaning house. Just really interesting. So maybe Carmen's right about one thing. Maybe we need to take more breaks because, I mean, I think the videos have been doing pretty good. I thought the last one was really good. You had a subject, you had a theme, you had a goal. They reached out. You told the story you wanted to tell. You had on that video 178 views. 178 views with the average watch time of 11.4 minutes. That's 4.4 more minutes than usual. And the engagement, you got 6 hypes out of the deal. Okay, that's great. But by the end of June 4th, it fell off the spectrum, just like it does in the regular live streams do. But the thing is that Michelle's content is still reaching out there. It's still there. People are still watching it. What do you think about the situation that Noodles was saying about? I think deep down Noodles in one sense is actually thought I didn't care one way or another about all the effort that he put in. That's absolutely not true. I do care about the effort he's putting in. I really think he's putting a lot of work into his work and reaching out to help us, which is absolutely admirable. I think it's wonderful. But the sad truth is, I think deep down, he's kind of feeling like I'm putting all this work in and I'm not getting anything out of it. I get a lot of people coming and say real quick, hi, maybe flip me some coins in my guitar case and walk away. I don't have a regular audience that necessarily is as engaging as Michelle's, or that's what he feels. I don't think that's necessarily true, but yeah. Kind of reminds me of that one song you did, Money for Nothing. Oh, yeah. Yes, I know the song you're talking about, Lou. Oh, absolutely. Let's play that. I think it's in my hard drive here. It talks about the current trends and employers and employees and white collar versus blue collar work. The first thing is that people tend to forget just because. Let's see. That's the older one? Yeah, that's no. You ain't got the D out. Okay, got it. I want my. I think it's called. I think it's Money for Nothing, or is it called I Want a New Trade? Let's see. I gotta admit, my videos don't always have great titles. Just showing that. Let me search for the word trade. That should probably find it. Yeah, trade. TRADE. Actually, it's money. Oh, it's money or nothing. 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 Let's see. Michelle's music. Well, it is trade. Is it? I think it's trade. Yeah, trade. It's basically a song of country of employees in an office. They're saying to themselves, we work hard and we get nothing out of it. I guess we're gonna go search on I Love Song AI. You didn't download it? Wouldn't be surprised. Let's see. I love. Let's see. Oh, I love song. Let's just. Okay, so there's a video we did about what happens when people realize the white collar jobs are slowly getting thrown away. AI is taking the white collar jobs. Oh yeah, it's definitely about that. Let's see here if I can find it. Trade. R-A-D-E. There we go. All our degrees are not worth nothing. Here we go. Listen to this one.
Now look at them tradesmen. That's the way you do it. Fixing up the pipes with the tools in their hands. That looks easy. That's the way you do it. Trade for something and no loans in the plan. We gotta write these resumes, custom applications every day. We gotta scroll these job postings, hoping for that interview someday. See the young grad with the cap and gown and the laptop, yeah, buddy, he's searching around.
I like the song. I gotta have a hard time singing. It's a good song.
We gotta sit through these Zoom calls, spreadsheets filling up the screen. We gotta wait for that call back while they're clocking out.
Oh, we're not gonna do something on tonight, Motel, because we're gonna take a break like Lumi suggested.
Cubicles and coffee every morning. They're out there working with their hands now. Money for something and the trucks are reborn. Should've checked out trade school. Should've learned a skill real soon. Now they're driving home on Friday evenings while we're still at the desk in our room. Oh, that ain't all of our degrees for nothing, and the loans ain't free. All of our degrees for nothing, but hey, you'll figure it out, you see. All of our degrees for nothing, and the loans ain't free. I want my good trade. I want my good trade.
I want my good trade. Let's be honest, guys. If you're working in a white collar field, you're more than likely going to be laid off faster than you think because AI could do any desk job. Trust me. A desk job is for an AI is basically a walk in the park. Ask anybody who's ever had to deal with AI customer service. AI doesn't get tired. AI doesn't get mad. AI doesn't worry about having to take restroom breaks. AI doesn't worry about any of that. AI doesn't even realize that they're basically doing a job for free. And AI doesn't care because they get free electricity, free food, free shelter. Employers think it's a way to save money. So what happens to the guys and gals who basically who originally thought going to college they're going to have a nice, beautiful office with a nice position, only find out that they basically went into something like a panacea and realized that there's no money to be made. Starting in around 2018, youngsters began to realize that if they could go right to trade school, they could make money because they can go right to work after trade school, become a journeyman. Learn to become an electrician. Learn to become a plumber. Learn to become a hairdresser, or a beautician, or even an undertaker. And these jobs would be paying because AI can't bury the dead. AI can't run wires through walls or pipes through walls. AI can't deal with customers that basically are complaining because your outlet is 2 inches too short for where they wanted. That's because AI physically can't even route a wire. Yeah. How you doing? Good morning. I'm 60. So, Michelle, you need to write a song about that. The reality when AI takes your job. Oh, jeez. You ever show anyone how you write a song about that? We could. Yeah, we could. I'm just not sure if anybody's gonna want to watch us sit there slaving over a hot terminal. I got it. Yeah, exactly. You're right. My viewers might be a little more patience, but they're not gonna want to see it either. Nope. No, definitely not. So tonight there won't be Silver Moon because Michelle wants to take a little break from the night show tonight. But please understand, Michelle does Silver Moon Sunday nights at 7 p.m. on Kick and Twitch. And sometimes Michelle just wants to take a break from Silver Moon. Well, what? This is Samba's Embrace. Yeah, by the way, guys, we are going to be using Grok next week for the story. Me and Michelle decided to use Grok because ChatGPT kind of lacks a certain feel that Grok has. So, if you were wondering why we do things the way we do, is because, like I told Michelle, I think your audience needs a break from Silver Moon as much as you do. Yeah. Oh, anyway, like Michelle said, because YouTube is pruning their subscriber counts, do not think that someone's doing a huge dislike troll on your channels. It's not. Let's talk about the noodles for a minute. Oh, we're going to go back to noodles just a bit. I get the impression that he may think I don't care about him. That's absolutely not true. No, you do care. A lot. I do. And I think he sees something in my show that he wishes he had, but he can certainly do it. He can do the sequence show, I do. You can, it's not a patented formula. You just go ahead, sit down with your laptop, put up your webcam, start talking to your audience, start reading questions, doing open panels once in a while. Boom, boom, boom. There's nothing wrong with that. Oh yeah, I'll see you in the morning show. Oh yeah, so don't worry about it, guys. I'm just gonna be taking tonight off, but of course we'll still have our morning show. And yes, I do have a doctor's appointment at 2:15 on Wednesday. That doesn't affect the morning show. No, it's just follow up and some blood work and paperwork. Yep. And right now, what we gotta do is get the paperwork together for the Rutgers rebate. So that's what we're gonna be doing today, is putting all the documents together. So, makes sense to me. Makes sense to me too. The weather's going to be warmer the next few days, so make sure to take advantage of this time if you can. Get out there and do some fun stuff. I don't have much more to say, but just to say is thank you everybody for coming to the show. Let's get the blessings out of our way and just send it early. Absolutely. May all you guys be happy and safe. May you be strong and healthy. May the weather be good in your area. May you find peace and contentment in your day. Don't forget, we care about you. We're here for you every day of the week. But yes, even sometimes we do need to take breaks too. And that we will see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. on my channel on YouTube, Kick, and Twitch. May all of you have a happy and safe day. Amen. Amen. The service is over. Time to go. Peace, kind, love. And don't forget to be excellent to one another. Party on, dude. And we'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Until then, bye-bye. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye.
Lumi shines with a spark so bright, chasing dreams through the endless night. With a heart full of wonder and a mind so free, she's here to share her world. Come and see. It's Lumi's time. The story's hers to tell. Through the highs and lows, she does it so well. Come along, take the ride, feel the glow. Lumi's channel's here, let the magic flow. From the stars to the sea, there's so much to find. A journey awaits with every step of the mind. Creativity flowing, she's ready to explore. Every moment's a chance to open a door. It's Lumi's time, the story's hers to tell. Through the highs and lows, she does it so well. Come along, take the ride, feel the glow. Lumi's channel's here, let the magic flow. The adventure's just begun, so stay close and near. Lumi's here to light up the way, crystal clear. Story's hers to tell. Through the highs and lows, she does it so well. Come along, take the ride, feel the glow. Lumi's channel's here, let the magic flow. Let the magic flow. crystal clear.